Good day, viewers. Welcome to another biology lesson. So we are looking at the 2019 biology paper 1 for GCE candidates. So this lesson is powered by JS Learning Academy. So we are going to tackle questions from question 1 up to question 20. These are multiple choice questions, okay? So this is part 1 of the video. Then another part will be released starting from question 21 up to question 40. So let's go through these questions together. Okay, so here we have our question 1. Elena was walking along a road when she saw an object under a tree. The learner touched the object, it rolled over and divided into two. Which characteristics of living organisms did the object show? Okay, so here they are saying that Elena was walking along a road when she saw an object under a tree. So when she touched the object, okay, we have here, when she touched the object, it rolled over and divided into two. So which of the characteristics of living organisms did the object show? A, excretion, movement, nutrition. B, growth, reproduction, sensitivity. C, movement, reproduction, respiration. D, movement, reproduction, sensitivity. So we all know that we've got 7 characteristics of living organisms, okay? So in order for us to answer question 1, here we are seeing that this learner who was walking touched the object and it rolled over. So for that object to roll over, it means that it was touched, okay? So the moment it was rolling over, we are considering what? Movement, okay? And divided in two, okay? So once it was dividing, we are looking at binary what? Fission, which is reproduction there. So we have movement, reproduction, then there is sensitivity because this learner did touch the what? The object. So we are saying our answer is movement, reproduction, and sensitivity, which is right here on option D. So we now come to question 2. Which of the following correctly lists the path followed by light beam from the mirror to a viewer of the specimen under a microscope? Which of the following correctly lists the path followed by a light beam from the mirror to a viewer of the specimen under a microscope? So here they are talking about the movement of light, okay, under a microscope. A, light will move from the specimen, objective lens, barrier, also eyepiece. B, specimen, eyepiece, barrier, objective lens. C, specimen, barrier, objective lens, eyepiece. D, eyepiece, specimen, objective lens, barrier. So which would be the correct order for the movement of light under a microscope? So that is question 2. So the correct movement of light under a microscope is going to start from the specimen. From the specimen, it will then come to the objective lens. From the objective lens, it will move to the barrier. From the barrier, that's going to go to the eyepiece. So the correct answer here on question 2 is going to be what? A. We now move on to question 3. So this is our question. The diagram below shows a section through a leaf. The diagram below shows a section through a leaf. So this is the leaf that you have. Okay, this one right here, which is labeled P, R, Q, and S. The question reads, which structure is an organ and which one is a tissue? Okay, so they want you to identify which structure is an organ and which one is a tissue. So when we look at this internal structure of the leaf, this part labeled P, this one right here, this is called the leaf mesophil, okay? So this is the leaf what? Mesophil, the part that is labeled P. Then Q, these are the guard cell. Okay, so this is the guard cell. So from there, we also have the part labeled R, this is the sponge. Okay, so on R there we have the sponge. Then on S, we know that on S we have the wax cuticle. Okay, so there on the part labeled S right here, we have the cuticle. It's the one which is right here. So to answer our question, they want you to identify which part will be an organ and which one is a tissue. Okay, so there you find that this P is the leaf mesophil, so this is an organ. Okay, then R, the sponge, this is a tissue. So the correct answer here on 3 is what? A. So the organ is the part labeled P, the tissue is the part labeled what? R. So we move on now, we go to another question. We now come to question 4. So question 4 reads, the table below shows conditions in test tubes containing equal quantities of starch and saliva amylase. The table below shows conditions in 4 test tubes containing equal quantities of starch and the saliva amylase. So we have the test tube 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have the pH 2277. We also have the temperature in degrees Celsius 27, 37, 27, 37. So the question reads, in which test tube would the starch be broken down fastest? So they want us to identify in the test tube where digestion will be fast. Okay, in which test tube would the starch be broken fastest? So they want us to identify in the test tube where digestion will take place fastest. Okay, so A, test tube 1, B, test tube 2, C, test tube 3, D, test tube 4. Okay, so first thing, before you answer, you must know that the enzyme amylase works well in alkaline and in the higher temperature, which speeds up the rate of the starch digestion. So here we are going to consider the highest temperature. Okay, then we also consider the pH of 7. So the correct answer on 4 is D, which is right here. So in the test tube 4, where we've got the pH 7 and the temperature of 7 degrees Celsius, that's where starch will be broken down fastest. We now come to question 5. Question 5 reads, the table below shows some of the nutrients in 4 meals. Which meal will be the most likely to stimulate peristalsis along the alimentary canal? So A, we have grams per 100 gram, then we have carbohydrates, fats, roughage, protein. So A, we have 18, carbohydrates 18, fats 12, roughage 8, proteins 25. B, 30 carbohydrates, 32 fat, 2 roughage, 12 proteins. C, 38 carbohydrates, 4 fats, 22 roughage, 10 protein. D, 40 carbohydrates, 15 fat, 10 roughage, 5 proteins. Okay, so the question is, they want you to identify, okay, which meal will likely stimulate peristalsis along the alimentary canal. So peristalsis will be stimulated by high amount of roughage in the diet. So on this table, let's identify where we've got the highest amount of roughage. So you can see that right here we have the highest amount of roughage. So definitely C is going to be our answer there. So proteins will be carbohydrates 38, fats 4, roughage 22, protein 10. So the reason why I picked this one, peristalsis will be stimulated by highest amount of roughage. It's the highest one. Okay, so we move on to another question, which is question 6. Alright, so we are now on question 6. Question 6, which of the following deficiency diseases results from consuming foods that lack iodine? Which of the following diseases results from consuming foods that lack iodine? A, anemia, B, goiter, C, kwashiorkor, D, marasmus. So the deficiency disease that will result from consuming foods that lack iodine is what? Goiter, which is on on B right here. Okay, so for this one, anemia, this will be caused by lack of what? Iron in the diet. For kwashiorkor, we said this will be caused by lack of proteins. Okay, then for marasmus, we are saying carbohydrates. Okay, so this was the answer on question 6. We now come to question 7. So question 7 reads, which macronutrient stimulates growth of flowers and fruits in plants? Which macronutrients stimulates growth of flowers and fruits in plants? A, magnesium, B, nitrogen, C, phosphorus, D, potassium. Okay, so they want you to identify the macronutrients that will stimulate the growth of flowers and fruits in plants. So that macronutrients will be potassium. Okay, so on 7, the correct answer is what? D. So potassium will stimulate the growth of flowers and the fruits in plants. For phosphorus, it will be used for what? For growth of the roots. Okay, it stimulates growth of flowers and fruits. Phosphorus, the growth of roots. For nitrogen, it's proteins. Then for magnesium, it's chlorophyll. Okay, so that is our answer on question 7, which is what? D. We now move on to question 8. Question 8 reads, the diagram shows a variegated leaf, part recovered as shown. The leaf was exposed to light for 4 hours and then tested for starch. So we have the part that is labeled black pepper. We also have the oil in the pepper. We also have black pepper 3, green, white. So you can see that these parts have numbers. Okay, so now the question is, which regions will turn blue-black? Which regions will turn blue-black? Okay, which region will turn blue-black? So looking at this variegated leaf, okay, looking at this variegated leaf, the part where we've got green right here, where we have green, okay, this green will be able to turn blue-black because it contains what? Chlorophyll. Okay, then apart from there, we also have the part that is labeled 4. Here we have the oil in the paper. So when there is this oil in the paper, it's going to allow sunlight to enter, okay, into the leaf, and the process of photosynthesis will also take place. So the correct answer here, or the regions that will turn blue-black on question 8, to be what? 2 and 4. So the correct answer here will be C. That is our correct answer. Now come to question 9. The following is the dental formula of a dog: incisor 3/3, canines 1/1, premolars 4/4, the molars 2/3. So how many incisors are in the mouth of a dog? How many incisors are in the mouth of the dog? So the incisors we have 3/3. So when we add them, we'll get what? 6. So remember, we said this 3/3 will represent half of the jar in the mouth. Okay, so to come up with the O in terms of the total number of incisors in the mouth of the dog, we are going to multiply by what? By 2. Okay, so say 6 times 2, which will give us what? 12. So let's identify which option. So on C, that is where we have 12. So on question 9, the correct answer is 12. Alright, so we now come to question 10. Question 10 reads, the diagram shows part of the human digestive system. What digestive juice flows through the part labeled Q? What digestive juice flows through the part labeled Q? A, bile, B, gastric juice, C, intestinal juice, D, pancreatic juice. So here we have the part that is labeled Q. Okay, so first thing you have to identify this part labeled Q. So the part labeled Q is what? This is called the pancreatic duct. Okay, So this is the pancreatic duct. Okay, so this is the pancreatic duct, and this side right here, you can see this side. Okay, this is called the bile duct. Okay, so this is the bile duct. Okay, so this pancreatic duct, the type of juice that flows through it, it's the pancreatic juice. So here the correct answer is going to be what? D, right here. Question 11. Which of the following can be caused by excessive drinking of alcohol? Which of the following can be caused by excessive drinking of alcohol? Alright, so A, emphysema, B, cirrhosis, C, hepatitis, D, hepatomegaly. So they want you to identify which of these diseases can be caused by excessive drinking of alcohol. Okay, so when you take too much alcohol, the disease that you are normally going to have, it's cirrhosis. Okay, which is the disease that affects the liver. So question B, the correct answer, question 11, the correct answer is B. We now come to question 12. What happens to the floor of the mouth and operculum during inspiration in fish? So here we have floor of the mouth, you also have the mouth, then you have the operculum. So A, the floor of the mouth is lowered, the mouth will open, the operculum will be closed. B, the floor of the mouth will be lowered, the mouth will be closed, the operculum will be closed. C, the floor of the mouth will be raised, the mouth will close, the operculum will open. D, the floor of the mouth will be raised, the mouth will open, the operculum will close. So what happens to the floor of the mouth and the operculum during inspiration in fish? So during this process of inspiration, this is just when a fish is allowing water to enter. Okay, so what will happen is that the floor of the mouth is going to be lowered, then the mouth is going to open, and the operculum is going to be closed. So the correct answer here on 12 is A. Okay, so we have now come to question 13. 4 flasks were sterilized and set up as shown. So we have flask A, B, C, and D. And on top of each flask, you can see that they have placed the cotton wool right here. Okay, here on top of each flask, they have placed the cotton wool. Okay, then in flask A, we have yeast and water at 4 degrees Celsius. In flask B, we have yeast and water at 20 degrees Celsius. In flask C, we have yeast, sugar, and water at 4 degrees Celsius. And in flask D, we have yeast, sugar, and water at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the question is, which flask will contain most alcohol after several hours? Which flask will contain most alcohol after several hours? Okay, so here, since we have these flasks, the most important thing that we have to take note of, we are looking at respiration, specifically anaerobic respiration. Okay, and in this type, for anaerobic respiration to take place, you need more sugar, okay, which is going to act as a source of energy, because anaerobic respiration will take place because the sugar is present and the temperature should be what? Suitable. Okay, so when you look at these flasks, we have this flask here that has got yeast, sugar, and water at 20 degrees Celsius. Even flask C has got yeast, sugar, and water at 4 degrees Celsius. So the suitable temperature, since both of them contain sugar, is going to be this one with 20 degrees Celsius. So the correct answer here on question 13 is what? D. Okay, so that is our answer right there. We now come to question 14. Children under 5 years receive immunization against measles. Children under 5 years receive immunization against measles. what type of immunity do they develop after an injection against measles? What type of immunity do they develop after an injection against measles? A, active/natural. B, active immunity/artificial immunity. C, passive immunity/natural immunity. D, passive immunity/artificial immunity. Okay, so what will be the answer here on question 14? What will be the correct answer? What type of immunity do they develop after an injection against measles? Okay, so here, before we answer this one, we know that this injection is given to children, okay, in readiness for the prevention against certain diseases that are caused. Okay, so the correct answer here, the type of immunity that they are going to receive will be active and artificial immunity, because the child will be injected with a weak pathogen, okay, and not given the antibodies. So that's why they are going to be given this active and the artificial immunity. Alright, so we've come now to question 15. How is the rate of transpiration affected by decreasing temperature and light intensity? How is the rate of transpiration affected by decreasing temperature and light intensity? So here we have decreasing temperature, then here we have decreasing light intensity. Okay, so A, the temperature will be slower, A, light slower, B, slower, faster, C, faster, slower, D, faster, faster. So when we look at transpiration, okay, when light intensity is reduced, even the rate of transpiration becomes slow. Also, when temperature decreases, even the rate of transpiration becomes what? Low. So we are saying decreasing temperature is going to be slower, even decreasing light intensity is also going to be what? Slower. So the correct answer here is A, slower. Okay, so we are on question 16 now. The question reads, the diagram below shows some cells from the mammalian blood. So we have blood A, blood B, blood C, and blood D. Which of the above cells breaks down pathogens? Which of the above cells breaks down pathogens? So we have A, these are the phagocytes. B, lymphocytes. C, we have the red blood cells. Then D, we have the platelets. Okay, so the phagocytes are the one that will be able to break down the pathogen. Why? Because of this robbed nucleus. Okay, this robbed nucleus right here, it's used to engulf the what? The bacteria. But for the lymphocytes here on B, it just produces the antibodies. Okay, so the correct answer here is A. Okay, so we've now come to question 17. Question 17 reads, the diagram below shows a longitudinal section of the heart. So this is the longitudinal section of the heart. Okay, which of the valves labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4 are closed, and which ones are open during astral system? So during this system called the astral, they want you to identify the valves, okay, that are going to be closed and the ones that are going to open. So inside this longitudinal section of the heart, we have the valves that are labeled valve 1, which is right here, valve 2 right there, valve 3, and the valve 4. So in order for us to answer this question, we have to understand this, the atrial systole. What is it? Okay, so when you look at the atrial systole, it's just the contraction of the atrium. Okay, so the atriums will contract. So which atriums? So when you look at this heart, okay, these oracles, these oracles right here, this one right here, and this one right here, they are going to contract. So when they contract, they are going to cause too much pressure, okay, in terms of the movement of blood. So when that happens, you are going to find that valve 1 or valve 3 and 4, this valve which is right here and this one which is right here, they are going to open so that they allow blood to pass. Okay, so I've said valve 3 and 4 is going to do what? To open. Okay, valve 3 and 4 is going to open. Then this valve 1 and 2 is going to, valve 1 and 2 is going to be what? Closed. Okay, so that is what is going to happen. So here, A, we have valves 1 and 2 closed, valves 3 and 4 closed. B, valve 1 and 2 closed, valve 3 and 4 open. C, valve 1 and 2 open, valve 3 and 4 closed. D, valve 1 and 2 open, valve 3 and 4 open. So I've said during this atrial systole, there will be contraction of the atrium. When these oracles contract, valve 3 and 4 will open because of the pressure that is coming from the movement of blood, while valve 1 and 2 is going to open. So we are saying valve 3 and 4 open, valve 1 and 2 closed. So the correct answer here is going to be what? B, which is right there. We are now on question 18. Question 18 reads, the diagram below shows the human excretory system. What is the function of the part labeled X? So they want you to state the function of this part labeled X. So this part labeled X, what is it called? Okay, so this part labeled X is called the urinary what? This is the urinary bladder. Okay, and what is the function of the urinary bladder? It's just to store what? Urine. So A, to excrete urea, B, to produce urea, C, to produce produces urine, D, to store urine. So we have said the urinary bladder, its function is to store. Correct answer here is D. We've now come to question 19. How does the skin maintain the body temperature at 37 degrees Celsius when a person moves from hot to a cold environment? So we are looking at how the skin maintains the body temperature. Okay, how the skin maintains the body temperature when a person moves from a hot environment to a cold environment. So the person is moving from hot environment to cold environment. So what will happen is that during this period, you find that the blood vessels are going to constrict, or the process called vasoconstriction is going to take place, whereby the blood vessels will constrict, they will contract. Okay, they will contract. That's what is going to happen here. So one of our options, we have A, arterioles in skin constrict, B, arterioles in skin dilate, C, hairs on skin lie flat, D, skin produces what? Wet. So what is the correct what? Answer. So remember what I've said, when a person moves from the hot environment to the cold environment, the skin, what will normally happen is that the arterioles, okay, these are just branches of the arteries. The arterioles are going to go under the process called vasoconstriction, where the blood vessels will constrict. So the correct answer here is arterioles in skin will constrict, which is option A, right there. 20 reads, the diagram shows a reflex arc. The diagram shows the reflex arc. Which of the following is the correct sequence in the flow of an electrical impulse? Okay, so they want you to state the correct sequence in the flow of an electrical impulse. Okay, so here you can see that you've got a candle which is right there, not so? We have a candle which is right there. So how will be the correct sequence in the flow of what? In this reflex arc. So what will happen is, the candle that you have seen, okay, this candle right here, the candle is going to act as a stimuli, okay, so that the receptor is going to pick up the signal. So this candle will act as a stimuli so that the receptor, okay, the receptor here at P is going to pick up the signal. So the first sequence will start from P, which is number 1 there. The receptor will pick up the signal. Then after the receptor picks up the signal, the receptor will now pass on, okay, the receptor will now pass on the nerve impulse to the sensory neuron, to the sensory neuron. So it will move now from P, then it will go to what? To R. So from this P to come to the sensory neuron here at R. So our 2 will be right here. Okay, so here we have the receptor, then here we have the sensory neuron, which will receive the nerve impulses from the receptor. So from there, what will happen now is, the sensory neuron, they are going to send also the impulses to the what? To the relay neuron. So from here, from this sensory, it will pass on to this relay neuron here. So the 3 will be right here. So here we have the relay neuron, okay, pass on to the relay neuron. Okay, so the information now from the relay neuron will be passed on to the what? To the muscles, okay, to the muscles. So from here it will come here to the muscles, so that the muscles can be what? Stimulated. So we are saying P number 1, number 2 will be R, number 3 will be S, which is the relay neuron, finally to the muscles, so that they can be stimulated. So P, so we have said number 1 P, okay, followed by what? R, followed by S, followed by Q, which is our last one. So let's identify which option where we have this. P, R, S, Q. A, P, Q, R, S. B, P, R, S, Q. C, Q, R, S, P. D, Q, S, P, R. So the correct answer here will be A. Sorry, will be B. So we've come to the end of our lesson. Remember, I said this paper contains 40 questions, okay? So from 40, we have answered half of 40, which is 20. So we are remaining with from question 21 up to question 20. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.